we're back with the show. It's Gerald Glasser coming right back at you here at the Pop Culture Cosmos. Want to give a big thank you to TJ Johnson for stopping by with his best of pop culture for 2023. But we couldn't have a best of pop culture for 2023. Seems like we're doing it all month long here at the Pop Culture Cosmos, which is a great thing as we celebrate the year 2023 now in 2024. But we couldn't have a best of pop culture for 2023 without my good friend, my amigo, my compadre, the guy who helped me start this fantabulous show to all you listeners and viewers out there. It is the man himself, Josh the Great Pederson. Josh Areno, what's up, my friend?
What's up? Hey, we're just getting some of that nice Texas weather out here. It's like it started to snow and then it stopped and now it's starting again. I don't know. I don't know.
I
I don't know
thought
what's
most of
going
the
on.
world outside of Las Vegas, well, we were had a little teeny tiny bit of snow, but I thought the rest of the world seems to be snowed under at this point. I'm just hoping everybody stays safe and stays warm. Yep.
Yeah, yeah, of course. Yeah, it's definitely stay safe out there. Don't go out driving unless you're comfortable doing so. But yeah, the
Don't
slick
do
road
anything Jeremy Renner like
or
with a
Jeremy
snowplow.
Clarkson for that matter.
Yes. So you wanted to ask me a question about my travels last week, I think.
Yeah, yeah. So I heard you had been at CES. Completely forgot that was taking place this week. What's good? Tell me about it. Did you like it? Was it good? Was it bad?
Well, if you've gone enough years as I have, and I've been privileged enough to attend CES since 1996, I will tell you that they always seem to follow each other with a theme.
Mm-hmm.
And I said this to Melinda on the Friday show, where it's always based off of a theme. Whether I remember the year that the Android boxes all came out, and everybody had to make an Android box. So you go to every single booth, and even if they did something completely different, otherwise they had to have their own Android box just because everybody else was. The theme this year, if there's anything, was AI.
Okay. All
AI
right.
a lot, of just basically as far as whatever it's just software or whether it's hardware, whether it's electronics or what have you, everything seemed to have like AI built in, or AI help build, or AI help this, or AI will help you do that, and AI will help make this product better. That was a big thing. I know the on the TV side, my God, man, they're getting larger, crisper, and sharper. I mean,
So what?
I go there, and I'm thinking
Okay.
Josh Peterson because they all have those pre-made videos that make sure the color palettes pop, my
There
friend.
you go. That's what I want. That's what I want.
Yes, to quote the great Josh Peterson. Yes, but yes, as far as the TVs, the OLED, the transparency OLED, the micro LED, just the different types of televisions, but the size is now getting larger and larger. They're now, I've seen, not projection, but I believe these are legit 100 and up to 140-inch is what I saw. That was not, I did not see a projector attached to it. I think the ones that were most common were right around 105, 110, 115 for Hisense. But yeah, I think I saw 140 that was not projection based. So that was amazing to see. And the sharpness and detail and all of these televisions was just absolutely stunning, my friend.
Yeah. Okay. So what's affordable? Like, what's going to be affordable? And then, did you hear? Is there any whispers about the digital versus physical battle happening right now?
I can also tell you before we go ahead on that, and VR was
Mm,
still in vogue. They are still trying to force feed you VR at CES. Every single year it gets more and more and more. And I'm not sure how much, again, the people are supporting it. I told Melinda there was like a dime a dozen on those VR driving rigs that
okay.
you see. Yeah, everybody seemed to have one. Even large venues like Samsung and Sony and other places seem to have as far as that wouldn't normally carry that stuff. But the fact that I liked that they were emphasizing gaming even at the large manufacturers, and they had gaming sections
Yeah.
devoted to it, was very inspirational to me. But to get back to your question, what is becoming more affordable? I think when it comes right down to it, as these TVs get more detailed and more high end, the regular televisions that are out there, the 60s, the 65s, the 70s, as we see in Black Friday prices, that will become more of a norm as far as people just going out on a Tuesday in April or a Friday in September and being able to get an affordable large screen television under $500 that will fit their needs. So they don't necessarily have to wait to Black Friday. Also, the technology that's going into, as far as like I said, cell phones and any other type of modular equipment that's out there with the help of AI, that seems to be a big thing. But yeah, that seems to be the trend that's going on as far as if that answered your question.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, TVs are getting cheaper and cheaper, bigger and bigger and cheaper and cheaper. Yeah, I'm just like I'm looking at you're
Robotics
talking about
was
the
a kind of a thing though. Robotics. Yeah.
oh yeah. I mean, AI is everywhere, man. I don't know like how much is going to be too much here. You know, like as a teacher of young minds, I'm constantly running into people using AI to like write papers. So I don't know. I think AI has become like for us, right? It's like giving us a blank check, right, and telling us to be responsible with it. You know?
I could just see a kid in one of your classes go up to Chat GBT or Bing AI or whatever. Hey,
Mhm.
AI, write me a paper Josh the Great would give me an A on.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure. I wonder if
Yeah.
that
Right. Let me tell you about color palettes.
a 5,000 word essay on color palettes.
That's what
A
it was like.
plus,
Yeah.
A plus indeed.
Congratulations, you win.
But overall, my friend, yeah, it still's the same but different, if that makes sense. I mean, it's ever changing, it's ever evolving, but they all seem to chase trends. They all
Mhm.
seem to chase the same thing as far as the marketplace. But I do love the fact that I get the chance and I'm privileged at the chance to go ahead and be able to see this stuff before it comes to your home in many instances later this year or even early next year. And in some cases, they won't even come to the North American market at all. And they still show it off at CES.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I look at CS as being like a showcase for tech, like not just consumer technology, but just technology in general.
Well,
So
you got to come with me one of these days to it,
I
man.
I
It's all
know,
over
I
the
know.
place.
All right, we got to make some plans.
I mean, they took up all the halls. I don't know. I think they're rebuilding the South Hall, but the brand new West Hall, Venetian, all over town. I mean,
Is that where the
130,000 people attended CES this year.
is that
It's
where the
almost
Level
as
Up
bad.
Expo was? Is that where
Yes,
it's at?
that's
Okay,
where it was at. Yeah. Well, the South Hall was where we were at. That's the hall that I think may have been closed as far as maybe for retrofitting because they are going to do some retrofitting to the convention center, and that may be a part of it. But yes, that was the convention center that we were at to do the Level Up Expo for
gotcha.
us. Yes,
Okay.
but yeah, just a tremendous time. I really enjoyed my experience as always there, and I'm hoping to get to go many more years to come and seeing how the world of electronics and the future of electronics will continually change. We'll see what
Yeah,
happens.
yeah, that's awesome, man. Well, I'm glad it was a good time. Yeah, I do miss convention hopping with you though. Those are always good times.
Well, let me know. We're always glad to do it with you right here at the Pop Culture Cosmos. No more E3. That doesn't mean we can't do something else in the convention scene.
Hey, absolutely,
Well,
absolutely.
well, my friend, before we head on out, it is that time of year. We finally got a good connection. We finally got everything going. We finally got our lives in balance, got everything going with the families and whatnot. Already say, hey, Josh has got to have some time to go ahead and share to you and to everyone out there his best of pop culture in 2023. So without further adieu, whatever, please go ahead and listen now to Josh Pederson's best of pop culture for 2023.
Okay, so I normally I do like TV, movies, video games, and music. So this year with music, I all I've really listened to, like I don't know if you know who Zach Bryan is.
I've heard of him.
Um, country artist. Not really country, he's kind of like folksy, I guess. But I don't know. I've listened to him, and that's kind of like been repeating like on my stereo all year. Not because I don't want to listen to other things. I just I have too many kids to to sit there browsing music in the morning. So it's just kind of been playing over and over again. Anyways, great album. His latest one, don't remember what it's called, but definitely good album if you like that type of music. So I'm gonna skip that part. TV streaming. So I had to not had to. I guess I chose to watch a lot of anime this year because I'm trying to keep up with the people come up to me when I'm doing shows at conventions and they ask, "Hey, do you have this character from this anime?" And I think to myself, "Who is that?" Most of the time I just kind of like nod my head and go, "Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about," when I don't. So I have started watching a few things here. So first up on my list, I got Jujutsu Kaisen season 2.
Mhm.
Jujutsu Kaisen is just it's a great show. I don't know. I'm really fascinated with this idea that that where the negative things that we do towards other people eventually turn into curses that hurt and destroy and kill and all that. And the jujitsu sorcerers are around to, take care of those things. But I don't know. It's an interesting, like, real world.
Real world things, real world issues. Is it similar to that, my friend? Do you think it might be?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
All right. So I don't know, it's the same concept. But anyways, the Gege Akatami, I think, is the writer of this, but I've been so fascinated by it that I actually went out and bought the mangas, and I've been reading those, so I'm pretty caught up right now. But I don't know, really great story, fascinating character development. They're not afraid to like go places that most shows don't, like especially when it comes to like killing beloved characters. But there's always a reason. Every time a main character dies, they go into like these short little backstory moments to kind of flesh out, or not flesh out a little bit, but also like justify why that character is killed off. Have you had a chance to check any of that out?
I've heard it, read it, but not been able to do that. I have several anime on my queue, courtesy of Netflix, and I do want to compliment them because not only are they trying to get more into the gaming scene, as they had a distinct booth you had to actually wait up to an hour or more for to get in to see, but they are
Interesting.
focusing more on anime and being able to go ahead and get into that space a lot more. So I do give them credit for that. I did watch some of their animated work this year, and I'm glad I did because it was really something worthwhile. But yeah, go ahead, my friend. My
Yeah,
apologies.
no, I was gonna say we had a couple years where Netflix was really getting heavy into the original anime properties. So you can go
Yes.
onto Netflix and see Netflix original animes, which is really cool. I don't know why they stopped doing. I don't know if it got too expensive for them, but they got some good stuff out there, like Knights of Sidonia and Seven Deadly Sins. All those things are pretty good. But yeah, Crunchyroll continues to be my dominant app this year. What else I got here? I have Demon Slayer. The Sword Village arc was it was good, not as good as the last couple seasons because I guess it all kind of like happened too fast, so you didn't really get a
Mhm.
lot of the character development you got in previous seasons. But it's still beautiful. Yeah, I know you and your daughter were watching Demon Slayer. You guys plan
Yes.
to catch up on it before the new season?
We do. The problem is it just has been so fragmented as far as its release schedules. Sometimes it's
Mhm.
really hard to figure out on which platform it is and how
Yeah.
to get it. So,
Yeah, because I know Crunchyroll gets it first as far as the dubbed episodes go, and then I think 6 months later, it falls onto Netflix. So it's definitely scattered all over the place. Jujutsu Kaisen Demon Slayer, pretty hot selling Funko Pops for us right now, so it's been good
nice.
to know what the characters names are and where they come from. I got My Hero Academia season 6 on here, which is it was good. It was pretty good. It got real dark, and you kind of tell it's winding down to its final moments here. Those Funko Pops are so Funko Pops are very cyclical, right? Like when there's something new on, everybody wants those Funko Pops, but when it's like in an off season, nobody wants them. So I cannot for the life of me even give away My Hero Academia Funko Pops right now. But I guarantee you, when season 7 starts, those will start flying off the shelf again. I don't know, really, really weird Not weird. I guess it makes sense to a degree, but yeah, that's just kind of how things are going. All right. This one's an Amazon Prime show, Clarkson's Farm. I know it was last year I had this on my list too. I don't it continues to be good, and like as someone who lives out in Texas and has 5 acres, I don't have Jeremy Clarkson money, but I don't know, it just kind of piques my interest and has got me interested in doing some research on farming and maybe growing some crops and getting some animals. I don't know. It's definitely entertaining. It is sad to hear that Grand Tour has reached its finale, but Clarkson's Farm is still, I think, going for 3 more seasons.
That's
Anyways,
good.
yeah, great show, entertaining. Lastly, this one I'm still not quite done with, and I'm still not quite sure how I feel about it, but I've been watching Monarch Legacy of Monsters. Have you had a chance to catch any of those episodes?
I did, and it's been a little cheesy, a little over the top. It is not, from what I hear, Godzilla minus one. I know that was something I didn't get turned on to. I'm not a huge Godzilla fan, but I'm told I must see Godzilla minus one, which is still doing in its run in theater. It's been an unexpected hit as far as it's concerned, much like we see from this weekend's box office with Mean Girls posting a $32 million domestic hit, and also as well Wonka going over 500 million. Want to give props to those two movies this weekend. Even The Beekeeper looks like it might actually do something at $20 million over the course of the weekend with Jason Statham. But yeah, when it comes to Monarch Legacy of Monsters, that's something again with Kurt Russell and Walker Russell. It's just it's I want to say I enjoy those two when they're on screen together, and especially Kurt Russell, because I don't know how much longer we will have Kurt Russell being Kurt Russell on the screen. So I must appreciate it for all it's worth, even though this isn't the best material given to him. It's again, it leans more away from what I hear about Godzilla minus one, and it leans more into Godzilla X Kong, which we will be seeing a new iteration of here in the not too distant future.
What's funny is I've kind of just learned to appreciate those movies for the fact that there's no like real storyline to them. They're just spectacle films meant to be watched, kind of like Fast and the Furious. So, I go into them now thinking like, oh, this is a easy watch with my kids. We just kind of turn it on and enjoy it. Fast and the Furious, I can't say that for anymore after trying to get myself through that last film. Whew, man.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah, that. Who knows? That may appear on a list of mine
Yeah.
coming up in the not too distant
Yeah.
future. Yes.
You would say like Wyatt Russell, like I don't enjoy his acting that much because he overacts. Am I? What do you? What do you think about his acting?
It's there. It's there. I
Right?
mean, my gosh, you're talking about Walker Russell, right?
No, it's Wyatt Russell's the
Wyatt
son. I'm
Russell.
saying.
Wyatt Russell. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah. Yeah. He of the uh, star of the latest movie Night Swim, about a haunted pool. We can't. I begged for years for a Mass Effect film, and what do we get instead? They get funded a haunted pool movie. Yeah, that does me really good. But he is actually just not impressed me much. I mean, we saw him with Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and it's just something where he's going to be U.S. agent and all that. But I'm not really too thrilled that he's in it or anything like that. He just, unlike his father, he has not achieved or found a role that has honed in on his abilities. I mean, Kurt right away, he got into it with his escape movies and just some other movies during that time. In fact, he grew up as a kid actor for Disney and other stuff that he was doing at a very young age, that he grew up with us on screen. So in order to do that, yeah, it's just, we have so much more of a familiarity with Kurt than we do with his son. But yeah, his son has not done anything really that has impressed me yet either.
Yeah, it's funny. Like Kurt Russell, like the 80s and 90s must have been amazing times to be an actor because you had a literal like buffet of films coming out, like all different types of things from all different types of genres. Whereas today, like there's not that many different types of movies to choose from. As far as
Absolutely.
when you're an actor. So I don't know. I think that Wyatt Russell he has his moments where he's good, but I think he leans into overacting a little too much. But
Yes.
I mean, it might just take time for him to kind of hone his craft a little bit.
It might need to listen to mom and dad a little bit more. But his dad has been over the top for a while. Big Trouble in Little China. Yes, love that. I mean, he's
Yeah,
over
but
the top in such a great way.
yeah, well, that's what I say. Like even when he's going over the top, he's still like his voice is controlled, his
Yeah.
manners are controlled. Um, all right, movies here. Air. I know I spoke about this earlier this year. Air, I think, is 2023, right?
Hmm.
All right, yeah, Air was pretty good. Story of Nike was interesting. I know you and I already talked about this one, so I won't linger too long on that. I do want to talk to you about Rebel Moon. I know we were texting a little bit about it, but
Hmm.
I didn't think it was amazing by any stretch of the imagination, but it's gotten okay for me. It's like a middle of the road type of film. But what were your thoughts? We didn't really get
It's
to
not on my
have too much
worst
to talk.
list. It's not on my worst list. I think I put it right just below. Okay, I think it's watchable. I'll put it that
Mhm.
way. I just, I think I want a space epic so bad, even with Halo season 2 coming here in a couple weeks, which I know you and I are holding our breath. Are they going to make it as bad as season
Mhm.
1, or they're going to do something
Perfect.
better? Now they have new showrunners in place.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, but the first picture I see, the first poster I see of is him with Pablo Schreiber with his helmet off. Okay, yeah, that really does have us good as far as those who want something better out of it. But need I digress? Rebel Moon was okay for what it was.
Yeah.
I'll give it to you. I'll give it to where you're at. I think it was okay for what it was at best, but it was very
Yeah.
derivative. It was very
It
derivative.
was. It was derivative, yeah, and you could tell that it was originally supposed to be a Star Wars film. Like
Yeah.
it pretty blatantly obvious there. But then I think about like where could it have fit into the Star Wars universe? Because it was dark, man. Like I see why it wasn't put on the slate by Disney. But I don't know. I'm gonna watch the. I think it's supposed to be like 3 parts, right, or something like, or two
Yeah.
parts. I don't know.
It's
I'm
supposed to be
definitely gonna
two
watch
parts, but then
2 parts.
also there's a director's cut, and then there's prequel stuff, and then all this
Yeah.
entire universe devoted to it. So we'll see if the people actually respond to it. It's gotten okay viewing so far. We'll see if it continues to do well, and we'll see if it does have a future going forward.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't regret my time watching it. Um, all right, so actually, I'm gonna. Okay, this is a controversial for me, but I thought the Flash was okay. I didn't hate it. It got a lot of bad publicity, but that's just because all the James Gunn stuff was going on at the time and Ezra Miller's reputation. I thought the movie was okay. I didn't. It kind of it doesn't bum me out that he's not continuing on as the Flash, but it kind of bums me out that we're not getting to see that ending to the Zack Snyder story. Even if they would have just let him make like Justice League Part 2, I think they would have justified the existence of the Flash and Blue Beetle and Aquaman and so the new Aquaman and so on and so forth. But I don't know. It feels pointless. So that's why it's just like okay for me. It's like a 5 out of 10. It's not. It's just kind of like on that line. Um, as far as films go, it I don't know, it was there.
I cannot comment on it until next week, and I'll leave it at that.
Ah, gotcha,
But I
gotcha.
will
So
leave that one for you. I will not leave it with Melinda on that. I will leave it for you next week.
Okay, but I mean, even if you didn't like it, I'm not gonna, and we'll talk about it later, I'm
I
sure. But
didn't
I'm
say
not.
I did. Didn't say I did. I said I will just leave it for you next week.
Okay, all right. All right, and then the last one I got on my movie list here is a movie called Flora and Son. It's on Apple Plus or Apple TV or whatever it is.
Mhm.
Pretty good movie. Takes place in Ireland. Has Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and I forget what the other actress lady's name is, but it's about this lady who she's trying to connect with her teenage son who keeps getting in trouble with the law, and he's trying to make music using his little laptop and the garage band or whatever it is, and he does like little rap beats. So she buys a guitar and they bond over music, and Joseph Gordon-Levitt's a online computer instructor, and there's like a love story there. But anyways, pretty good movie. I just watched it out of boredom and I was just surfing through Apple TV stuff, and I was like, "Oh, this looks interesting." But anyways, yeah, pretty good movie. Um, Lastly, I got video games here. Final Fantasy 16. What's funny is I know we've talked a lot about Final Fantasy this year, but Final Fantasy 16, like it was amazing up until they always have a hard time finishing these games. So it was amazing up until like the very end when you're like about to go fight the boss and it just kind of fizzles out like they ran out of steam. And
Mm.
I know that there's like some add-ons coming out and they might be, I don't know where they take place on the timeline, but I don't know, man. I enjoyed my time with the game. I really enjoyed the game. I just wish that it would have had a better ending or
Anything else,
even
my friend?
an ending. All right, Star Wars Jedi Survivor was pretty good. I
Okay.
haven't quite wrapped that one up yet, and but no, it's great. Like Star Wars does usually controversial opinion here. Star Wars does not tend to make great video games, or they haven't in the past. But then these Jedi games have come out, and they've been fun. They've been really
Yes.
great. Dead Space remake was great, excellent, absolutely loved it. Not much to say on that one except if you slept on this one, definitely pick it up because it's less scary than the first one because due to the high res on everything, you can actually like see when things are attacking you, so it's less scary. You don't have to play with the lights on. Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. I liked it. It was a what am I trying to say? When people keep telling me to play things over and over again, I tend to be less excited about them. So, uh, Tears of the Kingdom has taken me a while to get through because I'm like less motivated to play it. But it's cool, it's cool. And then I'm ending here with Starfield. I'm not sure how I feel about it. I really am not. Like it's such a massive game, and I burnt out on it, and then I've got reinvigorated on it, then I burn out on it again. It's I don't know. I don't know where I stand. I don't hate it, but I don't like it, if that makes sense.
Makes perfect sense. That's exactly the way the response has been for it. So I cannot blame you again. Cannot blame you a bit. Once again, it is Josh Pederson. Please check him out every week that he's here on the Pop Culture Cosmos. But before we head on out, Mr. Happy Hoarder Collectibles.com and Happy Hoarder, you've been doing some auctioneering last time I heard or last time I saw, haven't you been? Sold.
Yeah, we've been playing around on Whatnots, just trying to clearance out last year's stuff. I'm trying to make room for some new stuff to come in. We put in an application for Anime Sukino, which is out in Bell County out here in Texas. So if you're in the area, definitely look that up. Hoping to get into that one, but yeah, I'm trying to push out last year's stuff so I can get in some newer anime action figures, trading cards, things like that. So definitely check us out on Whatnot at Happy Hoarder Collectibles and tune in. Yeah, follow us, please.
There you go. Indeed. Do you have a whatnot bonus or anything? They do like a $10 or $15 bonus or anything like that. If they no,
There's referral bonuses. So if you
okay.
sign up, you can put us in there. But I think that's just if you sign up to be a seller. I'm not 100% sure on that.
Okay, no worries. But once again, it is Josh Peterson. Please go ahead and check him out every single time out at the happyhoardercollectibles.com. Plus, also, you never know when he appears on Whatnot with the Happy Hoarder Collectibles. I just wanted to make sure I got that in there because I saw that the other day that you were doing that. I'm like, oh, a new venture for Josh right there for you, Mr. Auctioneer. How about that?
Yeah. Yeah, we played around with it a little bit in the past, kind of fell off of it because people don't want to pay full price for things on Whatnot, but when you got a bunch of clearance stuff, it doesn't hurt. I'd rather get something for it than nothing.
Once again, please go ahead and check them out today at Happy Hoarder Collectibles and, of course, on Whatnot. Well, Josh, that is a fantastic list as always. I still do you have any worst of 2023 that you might hold off for next week before we head on out?
Yeah, actually, I had my list here, and there are a couple things I did
Okay,
not
well,
hit.
hold on. I just want to make
Yeah.
sure you still have stuff because I'm going to give you my zingers for next week. I just want to let you know because I believe last time I did the worst of with Melinda, so I think I need to do this year the worst of Melinda, worst of pop culture with you, and the best of pop culture with Melinda on Friday's show. So
All
there you
right, that
go.
sounds good to me.
All right. Well, once again, thanks again so much to Josh Peterson and TJ Johnson for sharing their thoughts on the best of pop culture. Again, big shout out to Wonka for hitting over $500 million. Also, Mean Girls pretty good surprise at over $30 million for this weekend. And absolutely a big shout out to everyone out there for taking the time out of the day to watching and listening to what we're doing here, Pop Culture Cosmos. DJen, big shout out to you. I need your best of pop culture for 2023, DJen. Come on this show. You know you've always got the invite. You always got a chance to go ahead and share your thoughts with us each and every time out. Always right there. And if you out there have any thoughts on the best of pop culture, please share it with us each and every week or whenever you can, right here at the Pop Culture Cosmos.